Hi, so today I'm going to share Shaylin's birth story. I'm super excited to finally have the time to kind of sit down and share this because I've been meaning to share this for a while, but I just didn't get the chance. So here we go. I'm just going to adjust this camera a little bit. There we go. So now, if you don't know, she is my third child, but my first daughter. So I was super excited to one, have a girl because I have such a great relationship with my mom. So I was really excited to hopefully replicate that with her. Um, but after being kind of in the birth space, working with new and expecting moms more, I knew that I wanted to have something different for this birth. So I knew that I wanted to have a doula to support me and to do an unmedicated birth. I was going to say attempt to do, but I knew like I was very resolved that this is what I wanted to do. So throughout my pregnancy, I just like kind of had in my head, yes, I'm going to do an unmedicated birth. I'm going to hire a birth doula. It's all going to be super amazing. As time went by, I kept thinking these thoughts, but I wasn't actually putting anything into action. I had kind of looked into some doulas, but I didn't really like reach out to anybody or do anything concrete. So as time was winding down, I really did not have a plan. So I have to give a huge shout out to the Flourish Fund founder, one of the founders, Melissa. She really helped me tremendously in my doula search. So it was probably around November when I really was like, oh, you know what? This baby is coming and I still do not have a doula lined up. So, but at that point I had looked into other doulas around here, could not find anybody that had any availability. I had called my insurance to see if they would cover. They do not, which is something that if you are in Massachusetts, then we can petition to kind of help push that along. But I really like it was down to the wire and I did not have anybody. So I'm going to put the link to the Flourish Fund in the comments because if you have not heard of the Flourish Fund and you are creating a baby registry or are expecting to expect one day, this is something that you need to know about. So the Flourish Fund, just as a side note, is a baby registry, but you register for services and support instead of items. With my first two, I, registered for all the bibs, all the burp cloths, all of those things that I thought I would need. But what I really needed was a doula, was meal delivery, was a prenatal massage, all things that were on my registry. So the Flourish Fund just really helps connect all of that. Everything that an expecting a new mom could need is you can register for and have people gift to you. So it is so, so amazing. I'm going to pop the link in the comments because it's just such an invaluable thing to have. So I was talking to Melissa and I just told her, I really dropped the ball. I wanted a doula, but I couldn't find one. So she was so amazing and so diligent. She found me a doula with like 3 weeks left, which is so, so amazing that it was, her due date was Christmas. So people didn't have a lot of availability. They were going away. They already had their own clients. They were booked up, but she was able to find me someone closer to her, which is about 2.5 hours away from where I live. So I met with that woman. Her name was Bianca. She was absolutely amazing as well. We met with her via Zoom. Well, I met with her first via Zoom. And we had first connected on a Saturday. And on Monday, we did the Zoom. And she just explained to me kind of what it was like to have a doula, what that support would look like. I filled her in on, my pregnancy and my first 2 births and things like that. So I felt really comfortable with her right off the bat. She was amazing. And I was looking forward to having her there to support me. On Wednesday, so that was on a Monday. On Wednesday, we did another Zoom with my husband included, and she had kind of a backup doula whose name was Shira. And she wanted to introduce me to this backup doula because she knew that she was 2.5 hours away, third child. She could come pretty quickly. So she wanted to have a backup person that could come a lot faster so that if my labor was progressing really fast and she would make it in time, at least I would have someone there in the room with me and a familiar face. So that extra steps just made me feel really good because I knew that no matter what, there would be someone there to support me and I wouldn't have to wait the 2.5 hours or worry about traffic or snowstorm or anything like that. There would be someone there to help. So again, that was a Wednesday. Friday night, I go into labor. So literally when I'm telling you, I waited till the last possible second. I really waited till the last possible second. Like there was no extra time for me to find a doula. So I'm so thankful that it all worked out perfectly. And again, big shout out to Melissa, but I would not recommend waiting till the last second like I did, because sometimes it doesn't work out so well. So Friday night, I wouldn't even say Friday night, I would say Saturday morning, I went into labor. For about 2 weeks before, I had been having contractions every single night before I went to bed. So every night I was kind of like, this could be it, but nothing ever progressed. I would wake up in the morning, everything was fine, no more contractions. So this particular night, I knew that things were progressing because I woke up at 4 a.m. I went to bed with contractions. I woke up at 4 a.m. with contractions, but they were not going away. I could not change position to have them stop. And they were getting more and more intense where I was uncomfortable laying down. So I had to get up and I knew, okay, this is different. This is the real deal. So that was about 4 a.m. Around 6:30, I was really uncomfortable. The contractions were happening maybe every 5 to 7 minutes apart. So I woke up my husband and I said, you know what? I think it's time to call the doula. I know she's kind of far away, so we need to get in contact with her. So we called both doulas. And Shira, who is the doula that was closer to me, said, okay, it sounds like you need to start getting packed up and heading to the hospital. At that point, my contractions were happening. I couldn't talk through them. They were getting progressively closer together. They were lasting a little bit longer. So I knew yes, it's time for us to go. So I went, it took me maybe 40 minutes to get upstairs from our bedroom to downstairs in the car. The contractions are happening so fast. I had to stop all the time. It was very painful. So, yeah, it took forever. And by the time we got to the hospital, it was 7:40. I remember looking at the clock. It was 7:40. Shira was there, she was parking the car as we were parking the car. So it worked out so perfectly that she was there to help support me, help me into the hospital and upstairs into labor and delivery. So when I checked in at labor and delivery, it was, I was already the nurse introduced herself. It was amazing. She was super nice. I don't remember her name, but she was wonderful through the experience. But I was already 5 centimeters. So this was 7:40 a.m. I was 5 centimeters. And she was born by 9:30. So it was very, very fast. I cannot express enough gratitude to Shira through that labor process because it was fast and I did not think that I was going to be able to make it unmedicated as I had originally planned. We had a word that that would be the word if I said, I don't even remember what it was now, but we agreed if I said this word, it meant that I was serious. I didn't want to do it anymore and I wanted to ask for the epidural. And I remember that I kept saying, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. But I never actually said the word epidural. So I'm glad that I was able to stick it through. But even just very little things that she did that made such a big difference in my birth. The biggest thing is that she would, as I was going through a contraction, she would just change her breathing, which would in turn just help me change mine. She didn't have to say anything. She just would automatically change her breathing and that would help me. If I was kind of huffing and puffing through it, she would just change her breathing to a relax or a and that would just help me automatically do it. And I was wow, looking back, such a small thing made the biggest difference. She was such a great advocate for me during the whole process where when the nurse or the doctor came in and would ask me questions or tried to get me to do, ask me if I wanted my water broken or tell me that I needed an IV with fluid because I hadn't had anything to drink in a while, which it was overnight. So nobody really drinks overnight. But she was really amazing at just saying you know what, yes, that's a great point, but can we wait? Are there other things that we can do first before having to do that? So having someone there just really gave me the strength to be able to turn away these things, because I felt like typically with my other two births, looking back, there were a lot of things I said yes to that I felt like I wish I had known that I could say no to them. But when you feel like outnumbered and these medical professionals are telling you kind of what you need, you're not sure yourself, and you're in labor and you're tired and uncomfortable and just trying to make it through. So just knowing that I had her at my side and she knew exactly what I wanted out of the process just kind of like took the load off me. She set up the environment. She made sure that the lights were low. She set up candles. She had these affirmation cards that I could read from the bed. She was showing me different positions, asking me what was comfortable, what was not. So really, I can't thank her enough, because it made this process so much easier. And I could do it because of her. I honestly attribute my unmedicated birth to having a doula. So if that is something that you are considering, or you just want to feel really empowered and like you have someone in your corner during your birth experience, then I would 100% recommend having a doula. If you are local to the New England area, then I 100% suggest going through the Flourish Fund, because again, there are doulas, but there are prenatal yoga classes, prenatal massage, sleep consultants, really anything and everything that you could need around having a baby, you are going to be able to find on the Flourish Fund. So that is my birth story. If you have any questions about that, let me know. I am more than happy to answer them. But I'm so glad that I got to get it out and share it with the world.